Hello and welcome to Chapter 2 of the Devlog Diaries. I would like to begin today's chapter just by apologizing for being unable to fulfill the requirements I set out for myself in the previous chapter. In the previous chapter, I had stated that I would have my main characters designed, digitized, and added to my game's concept art. This was a case where I underestimated the amount of work that there was. The issue doesn't actually come from the game development, and instead comes from the filming and editing of said content. I am very picky over the content I curate for my videos, and because of this, I'll reshoot content and scrap complete edits if it doesn't meet the criteria of what I consider to be good. With that in mind, I would like to ask you all a question before we continue on with the chapter. Would you prefer it if I extend the time between chapters, meaning a chapter will be released every 2 weeks? Or do you prefer these shorter chapters with a more focused subject and weekly release? I would love to hear your opinions in the comment section down below. Now that we have that out of the way, I think it is time to show you what I've gotten done this week. The character you see me drawing is the initial design I created for my game's protagonist. She does not yet have a name, so for the purpose of this video, I'll refer to her as Up, which is short for unnamed protagonist. For Up's face, I really wanted her to have no features. This plays into the design aesthetic I decided upon in the previous chapter, but to some degree also allows the player to imagine him or herself as Up. I chose to give Up a body that resembles a female, as I believe by having a female protagonist, I will be able to interest more women to try video games. This idea came to me after finally getting my girlfriend to give gaming a try. I believe this was possible as the game she chose to try was 2013's Tomb Raider, where the protagonist is a female called Lara Croft. I would like to add that this is the first time I have tried drawing a female's body, so please excuse any disproportionate features Up may have. Even though a lot of the drawing could be called luck, one of the things I didn't leave to chance was the fact that I wanted her to look powerful, because even though female characters are starting to make more of an impact in the gaming world, I still believe a lot of those characters are portrayed in the stereotypical fashion of being helpless. To comply with the design aesthetic I chose in the previous chapter, I decided that the robotic aspect of Up will be heavily toned down from the inspiration I curated. And because of this, Up appears to look mostly human. Even though this is the design I am showing you, I do still believe changes and refinements are to come in the digitization process, so nothing you see here today is actually final. again for joining me on my journey to creating my first game. If you made it this far into the video and have enjoyed what you've seen, please consider subscribing as I'll be releasing a new episode every week. Finally, before you go, I hope you have an amazing day and goodbye.